sitting here with two of the members of Lakeside. They just got finished turning out the Nut House.
Yeah.
The Nut House, is that what you call it?
Yeah, that's what we call it here. The Nut House.
The Nut House, hometown. Oh, it's not proper. It's good to be back here in Dayton, I tell you that. It's good to be home again.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Well, a lot of people, you know, as far as I had a lot of people ask, how did you get your name, Lakeside?
Well, they'll have good memories of that.
There's a couple of ways.
Yeah, what we did, the old amusement park in Dayton, Ohio.
Lakeview.
You know, Lakeside, where the Lakeview Palladium was.
Yeah.
The old rickety wooden roller coaster and all of the scary house and the House of Mirrors. These things were scary because they used to actually take out people from time to time in the car, right? And we enjoyed it. We always enjoyed that as children. You know, and even after we got started, a lot of things I saw in the band were reoccurring dreams that were right there at the Lakeview Palladium. Seeing myself on stage, you know, later and seeing the band the way it more or less formed up. But it just is a very special place to us. But we called ourselves the Nomads and the Young Underground through that period of time. And then the Young Underground. And, you know, little scamps we were, you know.
Scamps.
Right, you know. But, you know, we went to Chicago, played for one night as the strangest name you would ever hear, the Equation 4+4. You know, that's the slash between names, right? That one title, Equation 4+4. And then, since we were in a part of town that was Lakeside, and that was so much a part of our beginnings, that it's called Lakeside Express. Lakeside Express became Ohio Lakeside Express when we started traveling. And then Lakeside, once we finally made a CD, record, whatever y'all want to call it.
Right,
I don't want to sound too old school and say a record.
Well, actually, you know, it became a time in the industry where at one point, long names was the thing to have. You had to have a long name. And then at a certain point, just having a short name and being a little bit clever.
Right.
With
you
your
have
concept,
to let
you
them
know.
know that you were from some place in particular, too. That's what we thought that because, you know, the Ohio Players,
Right.
Slave, Heatwave, Sun, a lot of the bands that preceded us, you know, had Ohio in front of their names, especially the Players who everyone looked up to naturally here in Dayton. And that was 4 houses down across the street from where I grew up. Incidentally, you know, that's what I did as a little kid, look in the window and say, get away from the kid, get away from the window, kid, you know, that kind of thing. But you know, it was really great to see the Ohio Players, which are out here tonight.
As a matter of fact, yeah, Diamond and Chet and all those guys out here hanging out with us tonight. So we do a lot of concerts with them over the course of the year. And we also do a lot of concerts with Roger. So we're always running into one another on something.
Yeah.
Well, it's really great having you here, coming back to Dayton. And, you know, this is the first annual Funk.
Yeah, we don't get to play
Festival.
Dayton much, huh?
Not as much as we would like,
Yeah.
for sure.
We used to burn the Lakeview Palladium up, though.
Yeah, see the Palladium, the venue, you know, this is the largest venue we played here since, you know, we used to come here in our heyday, except for the,
Was it UD?
what's the thing that we did, the cultural festival?
Oh yeah, outside. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah. Everybody, and I want to thank everybody for coming out to support
Right.
Lakeside and show us your love because we love you too.
But yeah, we just appreciate the love we're getting because it's a phenomenon at this point. To me, one that I always felt through the grace of God would take place, but it is actually happening, and it's good for the music. It's good for us right now because we're cashing in on just really teaching and keeping alive something that should be very natural. You know,
Right.
to be kept alive.
Right.
We should be on out the pasture. And
Right.
doing this already,
Right.
you know. But I'm thankful regardless. You know.
Speaking of music, you hear a lot of the new artists that are coming out. You get sampled a lot, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So that's part of the evolution of the history right there.
Right.
How do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, it's nothing wrong with it in terms of, you know, when people really show the love for the art form itself and the respect for Lakeside and don't try to change nothing. But at the same time, we spent most of our career not even knowing that people stopped playing music. I mean, we've been in the world or somewhere, so we're always performing or writing songs or something. So a whole time zone passed us, and all of a sudden we realized that a lot of people don't play music anymore. And I want to say to the public, hey, it is so much fun playing with this guy for real, and not sampling, and seeing people get off and be moved.
See, I feel him when he's doing this. When the people don't understand. You know, they miss that part.
Right, and the camaraderie of playing with all of the guys. I mean, Steve and Fred and Marvin. I mean, playing with all the guys, it's so much camaraderie, and we've been together so long until we just can look at one another from across the stage and feel what the vibe is. So,
get whole paragraphs.
Right, I'm telling you, you guys don't realize how much fun we're having. And how much we get off on one another after so many years of doing this together, you know.
Right. Tonight was just early the thrill, even though, you know, we kind of rushed, we came in on the edge a little bit. But to have an audience as receptive as they were, you know, it eliminates jet lag immediately.
We want to thank everybody that came out tonight.
You know, we really do thank everybody because, you know, we felt the love in the room. You know, I got a little emotional.
Right, because being a day, you know, you
I
did
could
it.
feel that I was at home. You know,
We had butterflies.
Many of the million other shows or whatever I ever done. You know, I could feel the love in the audience tonight for our band. That they really felt like we were native sons. Things are important to them where we're concerned, and that's great. We love you for that. This is our first time. I said, next time you see me, y'all be standing in line waiting to see us get an autograph. They said, oh man, you crazy. But this was it. That was the first day.
Oh, look at this throw, right? It was homeboy. Was he playing or what?
That was serious.
Is that an